So please take a comfortable seat, an upright seat. I'm going to push back from my computer screen. Lovely to see you guys. So we'll sit for a few moments of quiet together and then we'll launch into our practice. So you can rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. Sometimes I like to recommend that you observe your thoughts as if you were observing the fish in the aquarium. Multitudes, different colors, shapes, and sizes. Some fish you may find more adorable or intriguing, and others you may find more a little bit repulsive or curious. So let's see if we can cultivate a kind of aquarium mind for the next several moments, where we see our thoughts and our emotions and even the size and shape of our life events. We can see with the sort of respect and kind of evenness that we would see the fish in the aquarium. We might have our preferences when we see the fish, but we don't likely try to design one fish to be a different fish. We allow them to be as they are. And as you imagine the fish in the aquarium of the mind, you could also have a little hypothesis that based on nature, the design of each fish is unique to its particular variation of fish, and it's for its survival. In a similar way, our thoughts may appear to be unique in each one of them having a design, but they are likely connected also to survival. And just watching a few more moments with the aquarium mind. Mindfulness of your thoughts like an aquarium of fish. So what you might ask next is sort of like, what is the pace of the water in your aquarium? How fast is the mind? What is that current doing to the fish? Or how much evenness does your mind have, or any bit of stagnation that you're experiencing? And with appreciation for your efforts to have this sort of aquarium mind, please bring your hands together at your heart. We will have chanting and then we'll do some pranayama and see if the aquarium mind feels any bit different. And this morning we'll sing the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhuva Suvah Tat Savitor Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhuva Suvah Tatsavitor Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimoi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhurvasuvah Tatsavitor Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimoi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands, please, and open your eyes. And we're going to do our pranayama this morning in a quadruped position, or this afternoon rather. So we'll come to table pose, please, on the center of your mat. And I'll set you back on the view that I need to see you on. Just one moment. So when you come to table pose in a quadruped position, I'll face forward so I can still see you. You face however your mat needs you to right now. And we will do inhale for cat and exhale for cow, which can seem backwards to people sometimes. We'll go ahead and look for your inhalation into cat pose. And your exhalation into cow pose. And we'll do this several times just to get your body warmed up, but also to get sort of acquainted with what is happening, not just in the aquarium of the mind, but what is also happening in the structure of your body. Places that you'll notice that may have some ease of movement. Some places you'll notice may feel more challenged for movement. So we're going to use this cat-cow in a couple of different ways. As you next inhale to cat pose, you've got your hands level and knees are level. But then step your right hand and left knee forward as if you're about to crawl. And exhale to cow pose. And then inhale to cat pose. We're going to stay asymmetrical for the next several breath cycles. Exhale to cow pose. Go slowly through the spine, including opening your throat. Inhale to cat, and we're going to insert a kind of half child's pose here. So exhale halfway back to child's pose. Keep both arms strong. And then inhale, roll forward to cat. Exhale for cow. Inhale to cat. And exhale halfway back to child's pose. Keep the back of your body broad and both arms straight. And inhale, roll forward cat. Okay, exhale, cow pose. And now take a step backwards with your left knee and your right hand. So you've got the other asymmetry. So now your left hand is forward, right hand behind, right knee forward, left knee back. And let's inhale to cat. Use your Ujjayi breath. I didn't say, but I'll invite you to do that now. And exhale to cow pose. Notice how you move over the 4 joints of the torso. Both shoulders, both hips. Inhale, cat. Exhale halfway back to child's pose. Keep the back of your body broad as you're able to, both arms straight. Inhale, undulate forward, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale to cat. Exhale, halfway back, child's pose. Inhale, roll forward to cat. Exhale, glide forward to cow. Last time through, inhale to cat. Exhale, halfway back, child's pose. Inhale, roll forward, cat. Now last time to cow. And then make your hands and knees symmetrical and take a block to sit on and come into Vajrasana. So take a seat. And in your Vajrasana, rest your hands in your lap and just initially notice what are the changes in the different regions of your body. You could think of it like if you'd ever gone scuba diving, and sometimes the temperature of the water is different in one place versus another, but you haven't traveled that far. So in the inner body, some places may have a slightly different temperature. Now reach back to interlace your fingers at the small of your back. Set your shoulders back as well as you're able to. Give a good strong squeeze of each shoulder. Bring your chin down towards your throat. And on the inhale, what we're going to do is fill up the first third, middle third, upper third. You'll be breathing through the nose, but we are going to lift the chin at the top of the inhale. And on the exhale, we're just going to return the head to Anjali Mudra, to Uddiyana Bandha and Jalandhara Bandha. So the inhale, you'll go first third, middle third, lift your breath up into your heart, lift your collarbones, open your throat, raise your chin. Exhale, tone your low belly, that becomes like Uddiyana Bandha, and bring your chin in towards your throat, which we can call Jalandhara Bandha. Again, please inhale first third, middle, upper third, squeeze your shoulders back, open your throat. Exhale, lower your chin towards your throat. As you press the breath out, tone your deep low belly. Last one. Now release the clasp of your arms. Turn your palms face down on your thighs. And watch the blood supply returning down your arms. And imagine your mind going down from a too fast current. Let your mind come down to where the waters inside are more deeply still. Now we're going to resume a pranayama from a quadruped position, and then we're going to do Sitali, and I'd like to have you experience it this way because I want to open the upper back and shoulders before we do Sitali this afternoon so that we can really get a sense of how you're elongating the upper part of the inhale. So please put two blocks like this. You're going to interlace your fingers and rest your elbows on the center of the blocks, and by center I mean from back to front. Put your elbow near to the center there. So this will be a cat pose here, and cow pose. We will come forward through the upper body, and then please watch for just a moment. We're going to take the hips back and reach like it's called puppy dog pose if you were on the floor. You reach the hands up, the elbows stay on the blocks, and they don't tip because where you put your elbows to start was not too close to the edge of the block. Okay, and then we'll inhale and go forward again to cat pose. So let's try this with your elbows kind of on the center of your blocks. First in-breath is to cat pose, like a big parachute in the back of your body. Then exhale to cow pose. Lift your sitting bones. Bring your heart forward. Open your throat at the top of the breath. And now start reaching back with both hips. Inhale, glide your hips back, sitting bones back. Bow your chest towards the floor. Stay here for the exhale. Notice the low belly. Inhale, roll to cat pose. Gaze in towards your abdomen. Exhale, roll to cow pose. Lift your sitting bones. Bring your heart forward. Open your throat. Now inhale, glide your sitting bones back. Keep the chest open, throat open. Raise your hands. And then exhale, bow your head as you tone the low belly. Again, inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, reach back, puppy dog pose. The throat is still open. And then exhale, bow your head as you tone the low belly. And inhale forward to your elbows. Sit back to kneeling. And let's take one block in Vajrasana for Sitali. And this is a cooling pranayama intended to support pittas everywhere, to have a sense of their own inner air conditioning. So please come up to sitting. And in Sitali, you're going to make a straw with the tongue. So you'll be inhaling from Jalandhar Bandha. We'll inhale and go slowly upwards. And I want you to really think of the joy of opening the throat at the top of the inhale. And then you'll be exhaling through the nose as you come back down into Jalandhar Bandha. So let's begin with the first inhale like a straw. Bring the tongue inside the back of the upper two teeth, and slowly, slowly you exhale as your chin returns to Jalandhar Bandha. 5 times all together, please. At your own pace, 3 times more. When you complete your next breath cycle, then pause in Jalandhar Bandha. Jalandhar Bandha has an inward gaze towards the heart, towards the interior of the central channel. You can imagine now not that you're gazing out at an aquarium, but you're gazing in at the inner life. And you're welcome to open your eyes, and we're going to shift gears here. So please place both blocks to use for Prasarita Padottanasana, which is a wide leg forward bend. So set yourself onto your yoga mat and come down to your version of Prasarita Padottanasana. You can use both blocks for your hands. You could use the blocks for your head. You can do as I'm doing, one block for your head and the hands go on the floor. When you set yourself up here, try to keep a little hint of the Jalandhar Bandha in your throat, please. Energize your legs, but imagine the feeling of Sitali now inside your Ujjayi breath. So to imagine the feeling of Sitali is like the quality of patience you may have had there, or the sense that that breath cools down the mind. Use your Ujjayi in such a way as you don't busy your mind, nor do you overheat your mind. And see if you might be able to lengthen your exhale 2 or 3 or even 4 counts. For some of you, you can manage lengthening it to double, but you have to do this without coercion and without becoming breathless. Now please come up to your fingertips, and if you were not using blocks, go ahead and reach for your blocks. And I'd like you to take both blocks out in front and make the pose a little bit like downward dog for your upper body. Keeping your right arm stable, reach your left hand under to hold your right shin or your right ankle or your right big toe. Or you can hold the leg hairs if you can't reach your leg itself. Twist your upper back and your heart to the right, and you can also gaze to your right, even if the eyes are closed. And try to sense the shape of the Ujjayi breath moving in the central channel of your body. And around the stillness of that central channel, the fish of the mind, of the aquarium, may swim, but without disturbing the interior of your practice. As you finish an exhale, place your left hand out on its block, keeping your left arm stable. Reach your right hand under, across towards your left leg. And even though we're turning the heart to the left, and maybe you've turned your head to your left, you can keep your eyes closed. So gazing left, but eyelids closed. Sense that which lies within you, this inner experience that you're having in real time. So not imagining an experience that you could be having, not reviewing a past experience you have had, but right here in the present, sensing this incoming inhale and this outgoing exhale. When you complete your next exhale, walk your right hand out to the block. And then walk your blocks and your hands back towards your feet, please. And rise up to standing. Let's go heels in, toes out, and come down to your jazz dance warm-up pose. So still using the Ujjayi breath, we're going to turn the left fingers in on your left knee and twist to your right, please. So I'd like you to imagine in these twists that the torso is really spacious. We're not crowding it with the arms or the legs. So these are not twists of compression. Imagine the central channel, that you're breathing up and down through that channel. And even if the fish of the mind of the aquarium are swirling, let them swim in whatever pattern they have while you stay calmly abiding in the central channel of the body. And then press down into both heels, rise up to center, pause, and notice in the two hemispheres of the body, how are things different? Root your tailbone down, try to open the front of the hips and pelvis. And then bend your knees and come back down. We're going to twist to the left. So turn your right fingertips in, straighten both arms so you have the full length of your torso and the full length of your inner thighs. I also want you to keep both arms straight so that when you're twisting, your torso is centered relative to your sitting bones, your perineum, the spine, the crown of your skull. They're all centered. One more time, breathing in. And when you exhale, press into both heels, rise up to center, straighten your legs, take the pubic bone a little bit forward, a little bit up, open the front of your pelvis. And then we're going to go toes in, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels. Okay. Now we're going to play with something related to the back bend from the other day where we used the two blocks. So I'd like you to have one block for the shoulder blades. They're going to be here on the medium setting. And then one block for the head is going to be on the tall setting, like this. And when you lie back, place the first edge of the block at the base of your shoulder blades. So you're lying down with your head a little bit higher than your heart to start. Reach both arms overhead. Interlace your thumbs so that your thumbs can help you to hold the arms straight and long. I don't have an expectation that your arms will reach the floor. It's probably a little high for most of us to reach the fingers back to the floor. So Straighten your arms, and as you reach them overhead, notice that having your head elevated on the block makes Jalandhara Bandha for you already. You're going to inhale, raise your hips up, lengthen through your knees. And then exhale, lower your hips down, keep the upper back open, the arms long. Your throat is toned because of the position of the block under your head. Let's try that again. Inhale, raise your hips, lengthen through your knees. And then exhale, lower your hips slowly at the pace of the full exhale length. And one more time, inhale, raise your hips. And then exhale and lower your hips down slowly. And then take your arms out into a T shape. Now the back of the hands, I hope, touch the floor. It's possible that the back of your forearms will reach the floor. Possibly the elbows, maybe not. Now raise your arms to reach up to the block that's under your head and place it on the medium setting. So it's one setting down. Rest your head there. Take your arms overhead and switch how you've interlaced your thumb, so the other thumb goes behind. Now the throat's going to be less compressed, it's more open. You have to think about Jalandhara Bandha. But as you inhale, raise your hips up. Lengthen through your spine and your fingertips. And then exhale, lower your hips down without ejecting your chin. I like to say you're not a Pez dispenser. Try that again. Inhale to go up while keeping, it's not that your throat is tight, but it is that the chin is either moderate or toned down towards your throat. Now exhale to lower without your chin popping up. And last time, inhale to go up. And exhale to glide down. Notice how you keep some tone for the throat, but without tension. And then again, bend your elbows, take your arms out into a T shape. And see if the backs of your hands, the backs of your forearms, maybe the back of your elbows will touch the floor. Now one more, you're going to reach up and take the block that's behind your head. Now turn it horizontally and place it on the flat setting. And I'm going to ask you to hold it so that it's under your head. And the thing I'd like you to be specific about is put the beveled edge of the block right at the base of your skull at the occiput. Bend your elbows and squeeze them in towards each other. With your hands, pull up on the block at the occiput, so there's some tension between the hands pulling up and your head now pressing back. You have to keep those actions simultaneously. So as your hands pull up on the beveled edge of the block at the base of your skull, lengthen your elbows, bring them in towards each other, and press your head back into the block. And keeping all of that strong, steady. 2 more breath cycles. And then as you go to release the block, what you're going to do is stretch the block between both hands overhead, release your head back towards the floor, and gaze backwards like you're doing fish pose. Now the throat is open. It's okay to lift your hips a little bit if your head doesn't quite reach the floor. Don't lift your hips too high, please. This actually is called fish pose in a way, Matsyendrasana. It's a variation on fish pose. Stretch one leg out straight, and then the other leg out straight. Now curl your chin in towards your throat and place the block back under your head on the medium setting. Bring your hands down. Place them under your hips so your palms are face down. And as you press down with your hips and your hands, lift up with your heart and rise up to sitting. And check and see how your upper back is feeling. Okay, so that was a sequence that uses a kind of fish pose in it. So close your eyes for a few moments and try to notice the back of your heart. Now please put your blocks within reach of what you're going to need here for Supta Padangusthasana. Lie on your back. Bring your right leg up and use your strap to lasso your foot, or you can use your right hand. So the block this afternoon is going to be here so that when you take your leg out to the side, it has a place to be supported. And that probably means that your block is closer but still stable, rather than farther and expecting too much of your hip joint. So let's first go up, and you can either hold the big toe of your right foot with the first 2 fingers of your right hand, or you could hold your yoga strap. If you're using a strap, it would go around your foot. And so breathing in, you might still be noticing your upper back. Lengthen through your left leg and try to keep your left hip grounded as you open your right leg out to the side. Slowly, slowly. It may help you to not only stretch your left arm out, but also gaze to your left and keep your left leg in your awareness so you don't tip over to your right. When your right leg is supported by the block, make sure it's close enough, high enough, stable enough that you can celebrate. And here I would recommend that you keep the legs steady so the muscles of your legs are toned, and the breath has a certain tone to it also, but you can relax your shoulders and your thumbs, your eyes, your cheeks, the hinge of your jaw. Let's do 3 breath cycles more, please. And then as you are ready to, you're going to exhale, raise your right leg up, release your right leg out next to your left. Momentarily you can have Shavasana just to sense, okay, how is your body doing with the unwinding? And then raise your left leg up. Lengthen out through your right leg into your right heel. And go ahead and tone the muscles of your leg so there is a sense of engagement there. The breath can have tone to it. That means not tight, but a consistent fullness to the breath inside. Not the most robust ujjayi that you've done. Open your right arm out to the side, turn your gaze to the right, and start to slowly open your left leg out to the side. And see if you can open your left leg without anticipating the block, but welcoming it when it greets you. So we're not rushing over to the block just to place the thigh as if you're putting your tea mug down. When you find your place, energize both legs. Stay present to the inner sensations of your body. You can imagine the breath stays in the central channel, and around that channel, the fish of the mind of the aquarium, they can have their experience. And keeping the mind steady, energize the inner edge of your left leg. And then exhale and float your left leg up to center. Release your left foot and your left leg out next to your right, so it feels like Shavasana for a few moments. Now the arms are in a T shape still. Let's keep it that way. And with your feet a little bit out, a little farther than hip distance, pretend that the feet are like windshield wipers, and you're going to move them in, out, in, out. So toes in, toes out, toes in, toes out. So you're giving a little shake to both legs. Notice that probably it's the case that most of the other parts of your body are not moving that much, but the windshield wipers of the toes and the feet cause the calves and thighs to roll in, out, in, out, in and out. And then let that come to stillness. And now we're going to do, the toes are going to make like little, as if you were tapping, pushing on two bicycle pedals. It's a relatively quick movement, so if you don't know how to do it, you can look at me. I'm doing it now. So you press the toes out and then they retract back. So you press, 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 and it has a certain rhythm, and now the whole body does feel that rhythm. Your spine will be responding. Even the head will respond, and I'd like you to just really slowly keep the rhythm going, but very slowly turn your nose and your head to your right and to your left. Let the head be really relaxed about these turnings. And the pulsation of the feet, rhythmic, consistent. You can smile at yourself for these little efforts. And slowly let your head return to center. And then imagine like maybe 10 more pulsations and then stillness. As your body becomes deeply still, you can watch the kind of effervescence, as I like to call it, that will continue. And this is our starfish shavasana today, so let yourself come to rest. Let everything become deeply quiet. The fish at the aquarium can also become still in the inner waters, clear and lucid. Rest your mind on everything becoming more still and more clear, more translucent. As you allow your body to get heavier and the inner body to become more lucid, invite your mind to sense its expansive nature like the sky. Remind yourself you are not practicing only for you to touch this inner experience. You are practicing to remember this is a shared experience. The sky of the mind, our interconnected consciousness and potential. The inner wisdom of the body, that prana or life force that is sustaining us all. As you rest again, try to sense the ground to which we are all returning, and the inner intelligence and capacity of everyone, everywhere. And that sky to which we return our attention, this immense consciousness and potential that we are all a part of. And imagine your capacity for remembering this, seeing it in everyone and everything. You may slightly deepen your breathing. Make a gentle wiggle of your fingers and your toes. And please bend your knees. You can roll to your side when you're ready to. And bring your hands together at your heart. So Pitta, of the three doshas, Pitta has this capacity for really seeing. It says we have a piercing gaze and we can see into things. May we see this indwelling potential, intelligence, consciousness and grace in everyone and everything. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. Did the cats abide by the yoga? They let you practice? I see that Patricia's dogs are having Shavasana with her. So they know what to do.